Alright, time to try and bounce back from that dreadful performance I had in Pick'em in week 2. Officially, I went 8-8, but Yahoo has me at 7-9 because I didn't wake up in time to switch over to the Saints, which I was going to do when I heard Kolb was starting, but I didn't get up in time, and blah. Whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Let's start with the picks. Washington at Detroit. This feels like a game where a lot of people talk themselves for Detroit to get their first win in years. And then you remember how bad Detroit is. Washington, runs the ball real well with Clinton Portis. Maybe Santana Moss finally has a decent game, and it doesn't happen. So I'm going to go with Washington. 3 confidence points because I think that Washington team is just bad, and I have no confidence in them. But a lot of people jumping on Detroit this week, and it could happen. But it feels like a game where you talk yourself into Detroit, and then you watch the game and remember just how bad Detroit is. So be careful. I don't want to take this Lions team until they win or until they play the Rams or Browns, because they're better than the Rams and Browns. Green Bay at St. Louis. Bounce back game for Green Bay. Terrible team they're playing, possibly the worst team in the league. 16 confidence points in Green Bay. Very confident they find a way to bounce back after a rough loss last week. I don't know if they're getting their left tackle back or not, but either way, it should be a blowout. Green Bay, 16 points. Minnesota versus San Francisco. This is a game that is shaping up to be very meaningful in the NFC. These two teams are currently probably favored to win their division. Last time Patrick Willis and Adrian Peterson met up, if I recall correctly, Willis destroyed Peterson. So a little bit of bad blood there maybe. I'm going to say Minnesota and 10 confidence points because it's in Minnesota. And, really looking at the first 2 weeks for Minnesota, they really didn't have to tax themselves. They were able to go on cruise control and blow bad teams out. I think they're going to be better prepared for this game. The only thing that really concerns me is the coaching matchup because I think Brad Childress is an awful head coach and Singletary looking like he's doing well so far, so I'm concerned there. Atlanta versus New England. In New England. When was the last time the New England Patriots lost 2 games in a row? I cannot remember it. So it's really hard for me to do this, but I'm going to pick Atlanta, meaning, yes, I am picking New England to lose 2 games in a row. They just look overmatched. Their defense looks like it's going to be helpless to stop Atlanta because Atlanta's offense has been great this year. And when you're looking at it, Randy Moss, questionable, Wes Welker, questionable, Julian Edelman, questionable. Go look up an injury report on this Patriots team. It is long. I think maybe it's just too much for them to take, and I'm going to say Atlanta proves that they're a top 5 team in the league. I'm going to say they win 4 confidence points. I could see New England pulling it out by a field goal, but I'm going to take a chance. First upset pick of the week. Alright. New York Jets, Tennessee Titans. The Jets, they're really happy. They are 2-0. Their defense is playing amazing. They just beat the Patriots. Looking good. Season could not have started any better for them. And then you got Tennessee, veteran team, 13-3 last year, 0-2 this year. If they lose this game, their season's done. Period. I mean, if you fall to 0-3, this goes for all other 0-2 teams in the league. If your team falls to 0-3, you need to start making vacation plans for January because your team won't be playing. So I'm going to go with another upset here. I got Tennessee. They're desperate. They have to win. If they lose, the season's over. I mean, I think the Jets are probably a better team, and the game is in New York, so I thought about this really hard, but I'm going to say the Titans win 5 confidence points. I absolutely think the Jets are better. Tennessee, just for whatever reason, they can't stop the pass this year, but I think the Titans throw the kitchen sink at New York and get this win. Philadelphia versus Kansas City. I'm a little scared to bet heavily on Kevin Kolb, but 15 confidence points in Philadelphia. That Kansas City team, I think that their new head coach, I can't remember his damn name, but I think he's lost that team already, so I feel really good about going with Philadelphia. 15 confidence points. I mean, maybe it'll be close because Kolb sucks, but I don't see any way they lose. New York Giants going to Tampa Bay. New York has a long list of injuries right now. A lot of issues on that team, but they could have picked a better time to have them because now they got 3 weeks against weak opponents. And Tampa's just bad. I mean, for those of you who think Byron Leftwich is playing well, I think you need to watch more Tampa Bay games because he is making some horrendous throws. You got to check it out, seriously. So, New York, 14 confidence points. I think they just run the ball all over Tampa Bay. Get that running game on track. Baltimore versus Cleveland. Oh, man. This Cleveland team really looks like they could go 0-16. They really look like they could pull it off. They have no offense at all. Baltimore 13. Man, there are actually a lot of pushover matchups this week. But I'm going to say Baltimore wins big, 2 touchdowns at least, 13 confidence points. Houston versus Jacksonville. Little wary about this one because I think Jacksonville is completely desperate. They have to win. If they lose this game, they're not going to make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, Jack Del Rio is gone, so they're desperate, but Houston, too much talent. I say they take it. 2 confidence points just because I know Jacksonville is desperate. New Orleans at Buffalo feels like a trap, doesn't it? I mean, New Orleans is suckering you in to believing that they're good. Maybe they're not. But I'm going to keep picking them until they lose in all likelihood because they are just playing, lights out right now, and it's hard to go against them. 12 confidence points to go into Buffalo and win because, I can't put my finger on that Buffalo team. I still think maybe there may be some lingering effects from that Patriots loss, and maybe Tampa Bay is just so bad they couldn't win anyway. Seattle taking on Chicago. Like I said, I'm going to expect to win. I'm going with 6 confidence points because I feel okay about it, but I don't feel super awesome about it. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, and I'm gonna say Cincinnati, if you're a playoff team, if Cincinnati's a playoff team, they win this game. If you don't win this game, you are not a playoff team yet. Pittsburgh is injured, they're on the road. Cincinnati's coming off that big win last week. If Cincinnati's a playoff team, they'll win this game, and I'm going with it. Cincinnati, 7 confidence points. It looks like, I really feel like it could happen. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati, 7 confidence points. Big upset of the week. Oakland over Denver. It's in Oakland. That Oakland defense is playing really tough this year. As horrible as Jamarcus Russell is, I cannot see a 3-0 Denver team. This Denver team, I'm not saying it's awful, but I don't think they're a 3-0 team, and I think they're going to show us why this weekend. So I got Oakland winning 1 confidence point because I still think Oakland is so bad that I can't have any real confidence in them, but I think they can pull this one out against a division rival at home. San Diego versus Miami. San Diego's got this long list of injuries, and they might be too banged up to do anything this year. And their terrible head coach is really kind of bleeding that team dry, in my opinion. So no, you know what? I can't do it. I think that Miami team's just bad. I'm going to just go with San Diego, 11 confidence points. I think it'll be a close game. I think you'll see the effect of Norv Turner. I think you'll see the effect of all those injuries, but I'm pretty confident San Diego finds a way to pull it out because I think for Miami to win, they need to take a lead of 2 scores or more late in the game, and I don't know if they can do that. Indianapolis versus Arizona. I don't know why Arizona's favored. I know it's in Arizona, but Arizona doesn't have a very good pass defense, and realistically, they are a passing team, and Indianapolis has a really good pass defense. They can't stop the run, but they have a good pass defense. So 8 confidence points in Indianapolis. Dallas versus Carolina. This line is way too high. I have no idea why Dallas is favored by 9 points, but I'm pretty confident that they get a win. They pretty much have to win or Jerry Jones fires everybody. Dallas, 9 confidence points. Those are my picks for the week. Great week 1 for my picks. Horrible week 2. Looking to bounce back. So all these teams I picked do me proud. And I'm going to see you guys probably later tonight.